A lot of people, we've been talking about the increased price of video games for the next gen or current gen going forward into the next gen, with a Nintendo Switch with Mario Kart World being $80. And the question, if Grand Theft Auto 6, what's the price tag going to be for that? Initially, the conversation started many months ago around Grand Theft Auto 6 on if they can charge $100 for this game, and what does the price tag for other AAA titles going forward, what's that going to look like? Well, today we got news that Gearbox and Borderlands 4, they're expecting an $80 price tag for the next Borderlands game.
It's fucking stupid.
I mean, we'll see what happens here, but everybody's going to blame Nintendo, which is dumb, but that's what's going to happen.
It is dumb.
I wouldn't say it's not Nintendo's fault, really, but I think it's this guy's fault, not just for, the $80. It's his reaction to the dude that actually questioned him about it that makes it so much worse.
The Borderlands franchise has not been in a good place for a hot minute. Borderlands 2 is obviously wildly popular, wildly successful. They did the pre-sequel, which did pretty decent. They did Tiny Tina's Wonderland Adventure, which did okay. I don't know what the sales numbers are on that, but it did okay. And then they released Borderlands 3, which they promised to be bigger and better and have all these guns and stuff. The game came out and the gameplay was fine, but the story was awful. It was full of a bunch of modern day dialogue, and dialogue
was trash.
Yeah, the two villains were like twin bloggers who were trying to get more popular on their like podcast or some weird shit like that.
This was like 2019, right? 2019, I think it was.
2019 or something like that. Yeah, it was awful, man. And so terrible. People have been really wanting. And here's the thing: if it was just fan reaction and Gearbox was ignoring it, here's the thing: Gearbox didn't release any DLC didn't release any new characters for Borderlands 3. They made everybody play characters that were not very popular, that were reworks and changes from what the norm was that people were really accustomed to, and then admitted when they announced Borderlands 4 that they were going back to what gamers really wanted. They realized that they were trying to correct things and course correct on the franchise because people were not happy with it. So then you get this announcement, that there's rumors the game might be $80. People are upset about it, and a fan actually talked to Randy Pitchford, who's the chief at Gearbox, and they were like, "Hey man, what are you going to do about this? I don't want to pay $80 for a game, blah blah blah." And he said, "If you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen."
He said, "If you're a real fan, you're going to find a way."
Yeah, horrific take.
Godly, dude.
Yeah.
So how did the last? I've tried Borderlands. It's not for me, but I know it's a pretty popular franchise. How did the last one do?
Terrible.
It did okay. I mean, like, it wasn't
like sales wise.
I'm talking about sales wise.
It did pretty decent. It did pretty decent. But like reception wise, it was terrible. Most people didn't really like play it that much after like the first like few weeks. Like it just died down.
I mean, I'm it's simple as this: the market determines the market. If people are willing to pay for something, then why shouldn't the company charge whatever? It really comes down to if you're offering a product people want. How did that Borderlands movie do?
Garbage. And he defended
not too good, huh?
Yeah.
That?
No, not a lot of people watched it. And Randy Pitchford actually defended that movie and got, kind of fought with fans about it. I actually have the full exchange here real quick that I'll read. This is from somebody on Twitter. This is a fan of the franchise. They said, "Randy, this game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO. You may have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher." And then Randy said, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage in an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen.
I mean, this is don't you guys have phones level stupidity right here, man.
Yep, absolutely.
This is wild.
He pulled a Pokemon, bro. He just pulled a Pokemon. What are y'all broke? If you're a bro boy, just say so. That's all what he just did. A CEO of a company.
Yeah,
on a franchise that's not in any good like not in a good light right now. So that doesn't make any sense to do.
So do you guys just real quick?
Go ahead.
No, just real quick question. Do you guys have a problem with the way he said it, or with the content?
It's for me, it's 100% that the way you address that situation. It's easy to say in a world where rising costs show their faces in multiple different aspects of game development. Of course, we have to increase our prices because of A, B, C, and D. You know, that's unfortunately, we always want to bring you a complete story that you guys are going to enjoy, a universe that you want to be involved in. But to keep up with yada yada, we have to do this. Going, well, I'm fucking, and actually, I just did this the other day on stream. When I was younger, I just mowed fucking lawns to buy Pokemon Snap, but I can say that as a consumer. You should never say that as somebody who's distributing the product.
I see what you mean.
Absolutely. My problem here is you don't have the product or you don't have the brand power to pull this off, and then you're going to be arrogant about it. On top of that, the reason I think it's stupid for people to blame Nintendo is I did not pay $80 for Mario Kart World. No fucking body has, because we bought the fucking bundle. Because I think that the $80 is a marketing ploy for them to force people to buy the fucking bundle. And if by the breakdown of it, I paid $50 for Mario Kart World. That's it. So for them to try to push this $80 price tag, they're trying to capitalize off the momentum of this discussion going on, when they're too stupid to realize that Mario Kart World is not $80. It's $50 if you buy the bundle. We'll see after the fact what happens with it, but that's the truth of the matter.
This conversation about the inflated game prices happened way before Nintendo. Months ago, it was surrounding Grand Theft Auto 6. This happened months ago, where the conversation was, how much can Rockstar get away with charging for Grand Theft Auto 6? That's where the conversation began. But Nintendo, then being secretive and dishonest in their showcase, and having people go to their website to see how much Mario Kart World was going to cost, that's where they took the blunt of the blame.
Dishonest, it was omitted. So I guess
they were
lying by
dishonest.
omitting, but I mean,
well, the other thing is, like, this has been a conversation for a long time. EA has done this a lot, where they've tested the waters and they'll put out little things and they'll be like, what if video games were this much? And their audience always like just burns the barn down and telling them to go fuck themselves, to stop even trying to do this. Video game companies have been trying to figure this out for a long time, how to do it, and they were just all waiting on the right person to do it. And Nintendo, with a very, very, very loyal fan base, with a very rabid fan base, did something that they felt was a good business decision for them. And now all of these other companies are going to use that as justification to pull the trigger on this. And then the next one up to bat is going to be GTA, because of how hotly anticipated it is, because of how well Red Dead Redemption 2 did, all of this stuff, because of how popular and how much money they've made with Grand Theft Auto 5. They're just waiting around for this to happen. And the next company that does it, they're going to use that company to justify their choices. Here, the thing is, the Borderlands franchise is at its weakest right now. This is not the time for you to admit that you've alienated your fans. This is not the time to admit that you're trying to get back to the way things were and listening to your player base. Turn around for your CEO to say, what, if you guys really care about the game franchise, you'll make it happen. You'll pay the extra money because you care. It's like right now, a lot of fans don't know if they actually do care. I know people that are huge, diehard Borderlands fans that were like, after the third game, I don't know if I care about this franchise that much. I don't know if it's worth it. You know, so the same thing, you know, and they've been trying to do this with spinoffs and trying to do this stuff and kind of test the waters with all this stuff to some success. But the numbers here, it looked like Borderlands 2 has sold like 30 million copies, and Borderlands 3 sold 22 million, which is still great, but it's a drop. And realistically, if your fans were still really excited about this, they'd continue to buy it. And Borderlands 2 has had remasters released. They were releasing all this DLC for it and stuff like that. Borderlands 3 did not see nearly that same kind of hype post-launch. And that should say a lot about what they thought about that franchise. So,
and if you take Borderlands completely out of the conversation, for the past 5 years, maybe even more, but certainly for the past 5 years, if you want the full experience for video games, if you want all of the DLC, the future content, the skins, the extra levels and stuff, you're already paying $100 for most modern games.
Nobody owes you their money. You know what I mean? Companies have to understand this. It doesn't matter. Even if you have built that rapport with your audience, like, they don't owe you anything, right? You still have to earn that dollar. So yeah, like I've been against standard pricing in everything. I think it's the dumbest shit ever. It's dumb in the comics, it's dumb in games. Doesn't matter what it is. There shouldn't be no universal standard pricing. Charge what you feel like it is worth and what the market feels like it's worth. So if that game is, you're only getting $20 of worth of gameplay, then that's, charge that. Or
how do you standardize art?
Yeah. It shouldn't be. There should be no standard. It's like whatever you like. This idea that people think that they can, for example, charge a $60 to $70, $80 game with minimal gameplay is just outrageous, right? So again, it goes back to the disconnect, and if you're going to, I think GTA may get away with justifying a $100+ game because it's just going to be so much goddamn content in there. And then again, they have to still sell that, right? It's like, you can do this amount of shit on here. It's going to get this amount of hours. And then people may be like, oh, okay, maybe I will pay that much. But just for some standard game, no, with all the options that people have, with these independent studios who are doing some amazing things, they don't have to go to AAA and pay the premium.
And we're getting to the point now where money's not the barrier for these artists to be
anymore.
Able to do stuff
That's
anymore.
what I was gonna say.
Not anymore. Like, it's too many options. Like again, with the engines themselves and what they could do is crazy. But also, like, the different funding options that people have access to make that come to life is, again, crowdfunding is still a relatively new phenomenon, right? And it's awesome to see that people now have a direct line of sight with the audience, and they can say, bam, here's an idea, please support it, and then they can make that come to life with a very, very, very small team. This is stuff that, again, was not available to people, not at this scale, like even 10, 15 or 15 years ago, right? So it's really, really cool to see how some of these projects are coming into fruition. I really think we're at the beginning stages of this. I think there's going to be some, like in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see some crazy, ambitious games that are independent that are built by 5 dudes.
Yeah, we're going to be eating good, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.